And as we said, here is the new collection Maoming. That's what I'm going to introduce to you. Donc, you will have much more colors in the book. That's what you're going to see. Donc, you see they're always by harmony. You have the greens, you have the blues, you have the yellows and the pink, and you have the indigo. Donc, all this is in the collection. Let's go. Alors, let's go with this new Maoming collection. Donc, as I said, Maoming is a kind of has a kind of Chinese inspiration. Donc, we played a lot with colors, with designs, with ikat, and we have decided to add to all the fabrics you're going to see naturally a few wallpapers, even a lot of wallpapers, wall covering, and also carpets and design. Okay, donc let's begin by a very typical and beautiful fabric, very strong in colors. This is an embroidery. On this embroidery, you can see the background, and the background is a real ikat, totally hand woven, little design, quite light. It's woven on cotton for this one, and on this one they take the same design and they come and they embroider, and that's embroidered by machine. And the design is Chinese originally. Same thing for this one. Okay. As usual, you see that we work in harmony. This one is a kind of tie-dye. You press the fabric like this, put it in the colors, and you take it out. You have this kind of effect. Donc this one is on linen, exists just in blue, and is, I think, quite interesting. Another one, a real ikat also here, and you can see it easily because on both sides you have the same design. Donc ikat, it's a very technical and interesting technique where the yarn is dyed in two colors, and after that, when you weave the fabric, you put the thread where you want to put it to get the design you want. Donc this has been done to match. Also something charming, even if it looks a kind of Indian looking, the design comes from this tribe. It's on a very charming light cotton, and it's a little flower that you will see in 3 different colors. Here you have it in blue and gray. One plain that I want to show you immediately to go with it, but we will come back. It's a cotton canvas. When I say canvas, we try to find the right words because it's heavier than a toile. It's really, and it has been stone washed. Donc this one is called loft. We had a loft a few years ago. It's a new loft. Loft is heavier, thicker, once again stone washed, and has a kind of vintage look that we have in more than 20 colors. And I think it's quite interesting to use. You can naturally use it for upholstery or as curtains if you like it. And what I love is the kind of heavy texture. Another one also, new one also, and this one is totally embroidered on an indigo background where you have this, it's totally handmade, and you can see the technique very well. It's very difficult to do, and it's, for me, really a piece of art. It's a beauty. We go back to what we have seen before with the ikat here in blue. Same one than the other one. This one also is on cotton velvet. Very interesting, very simple design, except even if they look alike, they're all different to give more character to the collection. We go back to ikat with this one. This one is a little bit more sophisticated than the first one you have seen, because you have a dark blue, you have a light blue, you have a cream, and you have a kind of burgundy. But match also on cotton, as you can see, very light, and match with the line. Same thing with this one. We are printed on cotton, exists only in blue, and it's a Chinese document. Amusing and interesting and very Pierre Frey we have it to print, called the Marché de Guizhou, the Guizhou market. And as you can see, the idea was just to put different things that all these tribes have, like hats, and we did a kind of all over things where you have even piles of the fabric you're going to see in the presentation. And we thought it was amusing. It's a little clin d'oeil, we say in French, to the collection. Other print, other technique. This one is like, it's on linen. Both are on linen, by the way. This one is on linen and looks like a kind of canvas that we would put on the back of a kind of hut or little in their house. If you want, their houses are built with this type of straw, and we thought it was interesting to do a print with this look. We go to something a little bit heavier. This one is called Hanoi. I don't give you all the names, but this one I give it to you because it's a new plane. For the one who know the collection really well, we had another plane called Shanghai. It is the same thread, except that it's a little bit heavier, and we have decided, you see, it exists in a book, we did a lot of colors, and all these colors are really interesting because they look like straw. They're not totally plain. That's what you're going to see if you have the samples with you. Here also, this one with a little kind of mini hat, and we blow it up. It's a velvet, exists just in blue, and is typically Chinese. Once again, we go to the cotton toile called Loft, that we have here, or in blue, or in beige. But that's part of the book that we have here with all the, you see, all the different colors. Donc Loft has a big color line, and we hope you will like it because it's I think it's very chic. Batik on linen, like a sheer, a little bit heavier than a sheer, but really printed in Europe. And this one we wanted to keep the batik look. You see, it's nearly reversible, and it's very light. And I think it's a very interesting design, going with all this collection. A little bit heavier, woven at the mill. Another textile, woven, reversible, that you get just in one color also here. New indigo embroidery. This one is a beauty. Will exist also on wall covering. You will see it later. It's on an indigo cotton background, and it's embroidered just with one color in white. We continue. Always, as you know, I love to do with this collection a kind of recipe. Donc you find a little bit of everything. You have a sheer, you have a check, you have a plain, you have a stripe, you have an embroidery, and this one is a matelassé. Matelassé, stone washed also, Chinese design, very geometric, and double width. And I insist on this one, it's double width. It's 2.80 meters, donc it's nearly 100 inches wide, and it's very supple, and you can do very easily some bed covers or something else. Same type of design, but this time narrow width, 55 inches wide, 1 meter 40, and you can really use them or separate or together. And we go back to the plain Hanoi that I just showed you before. You see, it's very thick, very interesting, but still supple. You can use it for curtains if you want. And this is a very good fabric for upholstery. New one, also very interesting. This one is from Japan, but I put it in the collection because I thought it was amusing. This one was presented at the Art Décoratif exhibition that we did a few months ago in Paris. And it's a very specific, it's woven in our mill. And as you can see, it's a kind of plissé. And it's Treviera, it's flame retardant. Why did we do it in Treviera? Just because when you do a plissé like this, it will be there forever. Because it's nearly, you burn the fiber. Donc we wanted to keep this very interesting look where it's totally reversible and woven at the mill. And here you have it also just in one color. Another print, like you have seen the batik. This one is another kind of batik, but this one is on a creamy background. The other one was on a dark blue background. And it's a kind of tree of life, very light, but with the same batik technique. You have it here. Another ikat, but this one is an ikat but embroidered. Donc the team here at the studio has decided that finally it was nice to have a kind of rest in the middle of each design, and instead of doing it all over the design, we decided just to do it as a stripe. Exists in one color, in this kind of green. The one that you have already seen is here in green. This one also, that's a really interesting one. Brand new one on linen. You can see that the blue here has been printed, and on top of it we come with an embroidered technique with two different effects, and we give this kind of handmade look. And it's very interesting because it can be or classic or more modern if you want to use it in a different way. This one that we have seen twice already, here is in the greens. We have seen also this little charming flower that you saw it in blue and that you have here in green. And this one is in cotton. This one is also very classic, very Chinese as a design, and we loved it because it looks a little bit like a matelassé. It's 1 meter 40, 55 inches wide, and it looks really like something totally handmade. This one, Chinese design. Originally it was a belt, you see, that you could put around your body, and we thought it was interesting to do it as a as a vertical and do it as a woven. So just in one color also. We go back to the cat that you have here in the colors. We go back also to Hanoi that you have here in the green, one of the colors you have seen in the book. The batik that you have seen is blue is here in turquoise, where you can have like that a different feeling. This one also. Now this one we wanted to leave it in the original colors. Chinese design, we love this kind of trompe-l'oeil ikat, and we love the scale, we love the very deep blue, and we did it also in our wallpaper collection called Guizhou, but smaller, and you will see it in different colors. This one on fabric exists only in blue. And it's a very nice thing to show you. This one, a kind of masterpiece of this Maoming collection. Beautiful embroidery. It's appliqué technique plus machine embroideries plus hand embroideries. The background being cream, as you can see. The rest is totally hand done and machine done, and it was a Chinese vest that we found, and we really love it. It's a beauty. And again, the little print, the third colors. The velvet that you saw in blue is here in yellow. Another new one, another very nice one in one color, very multi, woven in our mill in north of France. As we know, we weave a lot in our own mill. This one that you have seen is blue, is here in yellow, and match all this collection and give a kind of modernity to the line. This one also. Another amusing print. It's a kind of Chinese pottery, and this Chinese bowl were always delivered in this kind of boxes, we would say. And we thought it was amusing to make the different Chinese colors of this pots mixed with their containers. And here you have it on linen and just in one color. Once again, the cotton, the loft toile. Here you have it in yellow, and you have it also in kind of this pinky color. But you see how the cotton is heavy, and that's what we like. Here is a yellow, and nearly we go to the end of this collection with more colors in the books and in your samples, and we did not want to show you everything. This one you saw it already. This one, Hanoi, you saw it in the different colors, and we finished by something amusing. All this is in a kind of deep forest, one of our print, and it exists already. We did it last fall on wallpapers, and we thought it was very interesting to do it on. It's on cotton, and it's a kind of very great forest, tropical forest that you have in two colors, in green, and also, if you prefer, in beige. That's all for the Maoming collection.